To fly under IFR, well, you're gonna need a clearance, but who you get this clearance from and how long it takes you to get it, that can vary considerably. So, let's discuss, shall we? Here's your flight fix.
I'll talk us through it, okay? And we'll do it together.
Welcome to the Cirrus Approach Flight Fix, the bite-sized flight training show dedicated to pilots who never stop learning. When it comes right down to it, who you call and when you call for your IFR clearance depends on where you're departing from. As a rule of thumb, you'll want to receive your clearance directly from ATC whenever it is possible. That's going to be your most straightforward solution. Think of it like this. The more links there are in the communication chain, the more time it's going to take to receive your clearance, not to mention the increased chance of an error or miscommunication in that chain. So the question is, who you gonna call?
Ghost.
No. For the answer, let's pack up and head to the totally pretend pixel-based hangar. There are 3 common ways to get your IFR clearance, so hang with me. First, you can get it directly from ATC, so like clearance delivery or ground control at a towered airport. Pretty much your simplest solution. Or you can grab an approach or center frequency if you're at a non-towered airport. Now the second way, you can have it relayed through flight service. And finally, when the weather's nice out, say clear in a million, you can depart VFR and pick up your clearance while you're already airborne from whatever air traffic control facility kind of owns that airspace. Typically that's going to be an approach or center facility, and it may just turn out that this is just kind of an educated guess on your part based off of an approach chart that maybe you're using at that airport, a low altitude and route chart, or just some local knowledge that you have of that airport. But worry not, worst case scenario, if you call up the wrong frequency, they'll just hand you off to the correct frequency and maybe you just have a little bit of a red face, no big deal. So you can kind of see where this whole kind of pop-up IFR clearance thing is going. Before you consider this route, you got to consider your workload during departure. Adding this additional task to an already high workload phase of flight may not be worth the few extra minutes that it saved you, but that's up to you, and it might help you out operationally at the time. All right, back to the question we all came here for. How do you figure out who in the world to call for your IFR clearance? The answer's often right there on your 10-9.
My what?
Good question. The 10-9, your airport diagram chart. When you're departing an airport with an operating control tower, things are pretty straightforward because you have ATC right there on a clearance delivery or ground control frequency. Where the water gets a little murky is when you're departing a non-towered airport. But hey, I have a good idea before we clear this one up. How about some love for this episode's sponsor? This episode of the Cirrus Approach Flight Fix is brought to you by the Cirrus Aircraft IFOM, the interactive flight operations manual that's so nice they made it twice for both the Garmin Perspective and Avidyne Integra line of Cirrus SR series airplanes. With text, interactive widgets, and beautiful video demonstrations, you'll get up to speed quickly on the safest procedures and best practices for SR series flying. It's a perfect addition to your digital flight kit, and pets love it too. Available now on the Apple iBook Store. All right, into the murky water we go. So you're departing from a non-towered airport and you need to get an IFR clearance. In this case, you'll again want to use the airport diagram to determine who to call. As you sift through the frequencies, you'll want to exhaust every option for talking directly to ATC before you even begin exploring alternatives such as going back to that flight service, relaying through maybe another aircraft that's already airborne over the radio, or even the pop-up departing VFR. Referencing that airport diagram, if a frequency is published in the heading, then it should be usable on the ground. If there isn't an approach or center frequency listed, then you need to have your clearance relayed through flight service. You can get a hold of them in 2 ways. One, just use your radio directly from the airport, or you can call them on your cell phone. When the radio frequency is a little too congested, or maybe you're just not getting through, maybe there's an obstruction to the frequency, calling using your cell phone might be the fastest and easiest way to get a hold of them. And as a bonus, if you've got your mobile device paired using Bluetooth to the avionics in your Cirrus, well, then you're just pretty cool and you can talk to them right through your headset. So to sum it all up, here's the deal. When obtaining your IFR clearance, make every attempt possible to solicit directly through ATC. That's step number one. Usually it works, but that means if you're at a towered airport, you'll be able to use clearance or ground control frequency. If you're at a non-towered airport, then typically your best immediate approach is to shoot for that center or approach frequency that you can grab from the ground. And then in those situations where it's not possible to contact ATC directly, your best bet, just have your clearance relayed through flight service. The key to deciphering who to call, well, that's right there in your airport diagram for your departure airport. As always, we want to hear from all of you out there in the global Cirrus and GA community. Let us know what you think of the show. Send comments, questions, biting critiques, or loving praise to learning@cirrusaircraft.com. And don't forget to send in more of those awesome video signups because we love them and we love to see what you're doing out there.
I'm Tim Preußer. I'm right now here in Knoxville, Tennessee at the Cirrus CX.
I have heard of Flight Fix.
Okay, John Gabriel.
I've seen all the episodes produced so far.
CSIP from New Jersey.
I'm an independent CSIP with McClellan Aviation down in Springfield, Illinois.
I'm Joel Pierce. I'm enjoying the heck out of CX 2019.
Learning is a lifestyle.
Learning is indeed a lifestyle.
Learning is a lifestyle.
And see you at the next fix.
Learning is a lifestyle.
See you at the next fix.
See you at the next fix.